Sup traders, it's Trades here. Let's do a pre-market analysis for the week ahead. Week beginning 21st of October. News-wise, there is literally nothing until Thursday, where we have loads of PMIs for pound, euro, and dollar. And apart from that, yeah, we have some news on CAD, which I'll be keeping an eye out on if I do trade CAD pairs. But my main pairs, euro and dollar and pound, honestly nothing, not a lot going on. So let's just dive straight into euro dollar. I'm just keeping an eye out. We have come into a monthly time frame order block right there. That price tapped into last week. However, going into the week, I am bearish because we've had 3 bearish closes in a row after taking out this high. And yeah, to me, going into next week, I would be bearish, but also keeping in mind that we are at the monthly time frame order block. So I'm not going to be aiming for, this sell side liquidity, which looks like a good area for price to come down and take out liquidity. But yeah, on the daily time frame, we had a bullish engulfing candle after coming into that monthly time frame order block, which is also at the low of this daily time frame order block, which, might just be a slight pullback. We've got this daily time frame bearish fair value gap right there that price can come and find some kind of a resistance if it wants to, and continue lower. So I will be watching for that going into the week. Monday there's no news, so maybe we will, such a bullish engulfing candle, maybe we'll see a push up to this high on Monday, and then maybe take out Monday's high on Tuesday and then drop lower. I'm not going to aim for these lows either on the daily time frame because of the fact where we are right now. 4 hour, yeah, right. We had last week, we had a strong bearish week. We had a bearish close almost every day except for Friday. Price came into the order block on that daily time frame below that monthly time frame order block and made the low of the week on Thursday. And we didn't see price come below Thursday's low on Friday. So if you're trading TGIF and waiting for Thursday's low to be taken out on Friday, well, we didn't get that. The low of the week was made on Thursday, and price just displaced up. And not only that, we didn't even take the highs of previous day once last week. So if I was waiting for a high to be taken out, previous day high to be taken out, I didn't get an entry basically for this bearish trend because I wait for previous day to be taken out, and none of the previous days were taken out this week. Price just started here, gap down, pulled up into that gap, right? You see this right there on Monday, and then put in this bearish engulfing candle, and that was just enough. That's the high of the week, and that was enough to drive price lower. It just continued lower. We had this sell side liquidity on the daily time frame as well, which was something I was watching and hoping price would find some support at, and it did on, I believe, Tuesday, where I got a trade, but however that was not enough to hold price, and it broke through with this strong bearish candle and then continued lower. Because this sell side failed to hold, we are deep in this range, where we had this double top. We're deep in this range. It was likely towards the end of the week it was going to find support in this area, and it did find support in that area quite nicely. Right there, it found support right here on Wednesday, but then price wicked up, held that bearish fair value gap right above it. Right, we had a lot of engulfing candles coming down to it. We had a channel as well, so I was hoping price would find support here. But it looks like he wanted to find support down there, and then continued lower. It put in this candle that took out wicks above this and then below this, right? This candle on Thursday, which was a good sign. Whenever you see a candle like that coming into a higher time frame point of interest, especially towards the end of the week, right, at deep in discount, it's kind of a signal that price is gonna probably go lower first slightly and then come up to this high and take out liquidity. It's just something I've noticed from analyzing. And then next candle is this sharp bearish candle, which is the low of the week. And then since then we displaced up. We left a bullish fair value gap We had an inverse fair value gap as well right here, which is where I was hoping price would have come down to give me an entry on Friday, which it doesn't, and it takes off, which is fine. It's not really nothing I can do about that. However, like after this candle printed, right, I was waiting for price to come into this level because there is also a bullish fair value gap on the 60-minute just at that low. And it's Friday morning, I was watching this. I was watching, hoping price would come to this bullish fair value gap and find support, because yeah, and then I was looking to trade there, but it never reaches that level. One thing that I did notice though, right, we put in this candle, this order block, or whatever, pin bar, whatever you want to call it, after displacing up, and then we left that bullish fair value gap, and that bullish fair value gap was respected immediately, right? We come down, held that low, and then put in this bullish engulfing candle, which came at a time that I don't trade, this between London and New York open, which is kind of annoying because I was watching this, watching, you know, it's a flag pattern, if you want to call it flag pattern. And after I saw price moving up and down, I thought, okay, cool. It does look like we're going to come down into, which I was watching this fair value gap right on the 60-minute and that inverse fair value gap on the 240, which aligns up. And I was watching this thinking, cool, we might come down to this low. And then we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, after this sixth low, I kind of didn't have hope, especially if I was bullish for the day. I kind of just not knew, but like it was something. I didn't expect price to come down to this fair value gap anymore, right? And then it pushed up with this engulfing candle, came down, held that New York open one more time, and then displaced up. And I never saw a pullback, and I'm not really trading around these times. It was during this didn't play out, and for me, once that didn't play out, I don't really know how to trade this area, so I left it. But I'm still expecting price to come to this high, right? The draw on liquidity is up here. Just that I wanted entry down in this fair value gap on the 60-minute, but I never got it. But I did notice one thing though, right? Friday TGIF came into deep in discount order block, monthly time frame order block, daily time frame order block, held 60-minute, a failed swing, followed by market structure shift right there, right? With the market structure shift, it comes with a displacement as well. We've got one fair value gap on there. We had another fair value gap right there below this order block, which makes it even more significant for me. If we were to take a Fibonacci retracement from that swing low to this swing high, we deep in discount. Also the fact that we came in, held this fair value gap once, then held it again, and then we took out the low of that. Honestly, waiting for price to come to the second one was a bit too much, asking price to do a bit too much. And then once this happened, right, once we closed above this, I think was enough to suggest we're going to continue higher. And I probably could have entered on a pullback here because we were already so high up, but it's Friday evening. I don't know how to trade this area, so I left it. But going into the week, I am bullish at first, but bearish. Weekly time frame, we're bearish, so we'll be watching out for bearish opportunities probably Tuesday, Wednesday, and see how that plays out. For pound dollar, this last month we came into this monthly time frame order block 50% level, deep in discount, and found resistance, right? We have been bullish on pound dollar. Like if you look at monthly time frame 1, 2, we had 3 bullish candles in a row closing above this high, but it came into a order blocks 50%, and then it's finding resistance there, and we have taken out previous month's low as well. Looking at monthly time frame, I'm bullish, however, and also weekly time frame, right, we are kind of bullish, and then we've come into a low off this swing, and we've found some support last week. We've taken out the liquidity off that low, which is also a previous month's low. We've come into this bullish fair value gap below that low, and at the moment I'm bullish on pound dollar going into the week. Maybe like we've got So we've got a channel, right? We've got a channel which is I was expecting or anticipating pound dollar to do exactly this. You can see my pre-market analysis video from last week. I was expecting, because the way price has been just consolidating and making its way down to this sell side liquidity and failing to actually test it, I was expecting price to make a sharp bearish close down like this and then make its way up with bullish candles, and then potentially come and tap into that inverse fair value gap and come up and take out these highs, or maybe even this bullish fair value gap. Maybe on the weekly time frame we have another fair value gap. Yeah, weekly time fair value gap right there. So yeah, there's a potential for a pretty good move on pound dollar going into next week. If we come into this inverse fair value gap, or maybe we won't even come into that inverse fair value gap. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. There's a lot of room for price to, this is previous week, well, there's the weekly time fair value gap right there. We formed this channel, right? There's a lot of, this is a good area for price can come into, but I would be watching out the weekly time fair value gap, or even just this high is a good location for price to come and find resistance. And this just looks so good right now. I can't even lie. We came down this low on the 240. We failed to close below, and we displaced up. We've left a bullish fair value gap, or we can say we held a bullish fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame on the 240. Yeah, this seems like right. We on the 60-minute, we've got this. We came out, wicked below that, or closed below that fair value gap, and then now it's like this. Maybe we'll come down and then continue higher up. Honestly, this is a good play. It's just a matter of getting in and how to get into this, which will be difficult. That's the hardest part. Making predictions is, I would say, the easier part. It's the getting in and being able to hold the trade until the drawn liquidity is reached is the hardest part in trading. Yeah, this is interesting because although we've closed below and inverted this bearish fair value gap, right on the 240, we came down and took out that liquidity. Maybe it would be good actually if we come down and take out this low, and if we take out that low, that would be pretty sweet. But I don't think it will take out that low. Honestly, it seems like because it's already taken out that low, we've already made this, like we've taken out this swing low. In a way, it looks like it's just going to come back and find support at this low, that start off that inverse fair value gap, and then continue higher up. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we will consolidate Monday because there's no news. Maybe we'll leave some fair value gaps because I like fair value gaps, and that's the easiest thing I can spot. And maybe we'll get pulled back into that fair value gap before price goes up. But yeah, there's that. And Friday, which is annoying. We had a channel on Friday. Channel is something that I watch. This was something I was expecting, right? This pattern I was expecting, but because it's such a bearish candle, to me in my head, it's still a close below this, and that to me is price wanting to go lower, is what I would expect price is going to do, right? But because it was end of the week, Thursday made the low of the week, we had this channel. We also had, not just that, we displaced up with bullish fair value gap. All right, we took out liquidity off the low. We had a market structure shift. We had bullish fair value gaps, the lot for a TGIF setup, and pull back into 618, even pulled back into that order block, and found support, which is a trade that I want to be taking in the future, especially when price has been bearish during the week, or somewhat bearish, or I was with a bearish bias going into the week with this bearish close candle. This was a good setup. And then price just pumped up, came into this fair value gap, bearish fair value gap right on the 60-minute, and found resistance. Honestly, it just depends how you look at this, right? Because I'm expecting drawn liquidity to be up there. Someone could be looking at this thinking, all right, we've come and held this bearish fair value gap. We've got a failed swing and followed by a market structure shift. So that's a double top, and then we've closed below that double top, and now we can enter and aim for price to come down and take out these low, because on the daily time frame we closed below that sell side liquidity or that support structure zone. and because we closed below that, price is going to continue lower. Is what I would think some retail traders would trade. Maybe we will come down, so maybe the retail traders will be right on this, and we will take out some low around here, but I doubt that's going to happen. We'll see how market plays out on Monday. But yeah, something of the Thursday trade is something that's pissed me off, because I want to be entering these trades, because my mindset was so bearish going into the day with that strong bearish close on the daily time frame. Even though I knew that was going to be that was, just a fake out. It's just price is going to continue higher after that. I couldn't get myself to get into this trade because of that strong bearish close candle. And that's something, especially on a Thursday or Friday, when market is more likely to find some reversals, I should consider that in the future. But yeah, that's my analysis for the week ahead. Well, let's see how they play out. Obviously, if we reach this draw on liquidity on Monday, then I would have to reassess and see what's going to happen. If we start displacing more and more, then we've got more room for price to come to the high of this channel. And then if we start displacing lower, then we might see price come down, down to this low again. So, but I don't think price will push up first before coming down. So let's see how it plays out.